Hi, good day everyone. So I'm here inside my classroom because of the demonstration that I will be having for all of you. And by the way, Merry Christmas and yes, advance Happy New Year everyone. Let's have the following procedures or the processes. By the way, this is a simple process, so I do hope that you can catch up with me. And I want you to observe carefully and listen to what I will be saying later on in my demonstration. Well, first thing first, so I'm already done disinfecting the table with alcohol, of course, using the tissue paper, and yes, wipe the table. One of the things that we should take note, there's bacteria everywhere and we don't want contamination in our the result of the culture. So we have to disinfect the table first. And then, of course, beaker. We have the stirring rod. We have the petri dish. We have 2 petri dishes. Then we have the test tube, which will be used for the agar gland. And we also have the agar. Okay, so the brand is Merck, and the specifications as to what degree Celsius is written here, and also the pH and everything else about this agar. So that's it. By the way, this is a nutrient agar, and I suppose you already know what is a nutrient agar. This time we will be securing an amount from this container of nutrient agar. Then we will transfer it to the beaker. By the way, there is a specified amount of nutrient agar in every milliliters of water. Calculation will be posted next. Okay? You already have seen the prepared materials, the apparatuses that we will be using in this procedure. So let's go ahead. And there you go. After securing the amount, you have to place it here. Then until such time you will get the specific amount needed. So after weighing the nutrient agar and you already obtained the specific amount based on the calculations, we'll transfer that in the beaker, which contains a sterilized water. Okay. After that, then transfer the beaker to the to heat the nutrient agar at a specific temperature. So we use this apparatus. Then you have to turn it on. And there you go. You have to adjust the amount of heat, or yes, the temperature. Alright. We'll wait until the nutrient agar is homogenized, or it has a clear whitish to yellowish color. This we have a brownish color, so we have to wait. Or if there are some solid nutrient agar inside the beaker, you may use the stirring rod. Yes, and stir it. As you can see, it's visible, the powder. I would like to take note that all of the materials are already sterilized, like the stirring rod, the beaker, the test tube, and the petri dish. They're already done with the sterilization process, which means that infection or less bacteria is present in the apparatus. Okay. So we still have a brownish color. We'll wait until the whitish and yellowish color is visible, which means that the nutrient agar is homogenized. Okay. When you already have the desired becoming clear white, there. Homogenized nutrient agar, you may now transfer the beaker to a not so hot surface. So here, and then let it cool for some time, maybe 1 minute will do. Afterwards, we will transfer the nutrient agar to the petri dish. In the next step, we will be using flame in order for the other bacteria not to contaminate in the petri dish. But since we don't have a Bunsen burner, so we have to improvise. We only have candle. Okay, so we already have the nutrient agar here, and also the petri dish. By the way, the petri dish has these two parts. We have the cover. Okay, so the one that is at the top is the cover. So in order for contamination not to occur inside the petri dish, we have to slide past the petri dish over the flame like that for maybe 3 to 5 times, and then make sure that your hands, your fingers are positioned like this, the 2 fingers at the bottom, and then these 2 which is locked at the cover of the petri dish. So like that. The same thing with the beaker, which has the nutrient agar. And then this is how you're going to transfer. Just observe. Alright. Well, for the agar slant, so we will be using the test tube, and the same procedure will be done in, you have to slide past the mouth of the test tube as well as the beaker which contains the nutrient agar, then transfer. Where is the map? This one. Okay. So be careful when transferring because it might slip or accident may happen. And then after that you have to close it with a cotton, or if your test tube has a cap, that would be better. But in our case, we don't have the cap, so we will be using a cotton instead, and then put it inside, and then let it stay in a slanting position like this. That's why it's called an agar slant. Then later we will be using this one to in the culturization of the bacteria. So I guess that's it for preparing the petri dish with nutrient agar, and then also with the agar slant. By the way, when you are going to position this one, take note in a slanting position, and then let the agar stay for 3 to 5 minutes or more until it will solidify. Okay. So wait for a couple of minutes and allow for a full coverage of the nutrient agar on the petri dish. You may shake it, yeah, and then let it stay and cool. You may check if it already solidified by shaking it. So okay, so there's still a wavy portion of the nutrient agar, so it's not yet solidified. Then let it stay for a couple of minutes. The same thing with the agar slant, but make sure that you don't want to topple it down. Hi everyone, so I'm back for the nth time because I have to keep on repeating the procedure. So this is it. I wanted to show you after the 24 hours. By the way, the procedure, I have repeated it multiple times, maybe because of the room where I am doing the activity, so please bear with me. We already have a petri dish here, so we'll just use this one, and for today we will be swabbing using a stool sample. Yes, this for the stool sample you may obtain a cotton, yes, a cotton swab, then dip it to any stool, preferably human stool or your stool, that would be okay. So let's go. So here is the thing, the first thing that we had, this is what happened. So I don't know what bacteria is present, but it's more on dark blue to violet color. So this one is contaminated, but somehow, yeah, we're almost there. So for those who will be conducting this part, this is the most tedious part because you have to make it perfect. But for this one, it's not. As you can see, there's many patches, which means bacteria, or there is contamination, bacterial contamination. Yeah, so we'll have to discard this one. So next we have a petri dish which doesn't have any contamination, so you can see a clear view of the agar. Later on I will show you the agar slant. So the same procedure will be done for this one. If you already have obtained these two sample using the cotton swab, then this will be the procedure and how you are going to culture the bacteria on the agar, the nutrient agar. Alright, so once again, this is how you swab the petri dish using the cotton swab with these two samples. So I suppose you already know how to dip the cotton swab using cotton or the cotton buds, simply cotton buds. So once again, you have to move or slide past the petri dish over the flame. Just be careful. Then slightly open the cover of the petri dish and yes, make a swab. Just make sure that the agar is okay or there's no slit made when you're doing this. Okay. So make sure that the cotton just slightly touch the surface of the agar. So as you can see, there's no slit of the agar. Then after this, we have to wait for of course the number of days. Okay, so we are done with the swabbing of the bacterial sample using the cotton swab. So the next thing that we may do in our experiment is to apply the antibacterial experiment. Yes, so the thing that we need in antibacterial activities of a certain extract from maybe different plants or maybe a certain plant but from different parts of the plant. So one thing that is needed is the a filter paper punch using a puncher, of course. Then you have to dip this one. By the way, this one is already dipped to the extract of Gemellina plant. Then you have to place it over the petri dish. So the same procedure that is done. So slide past the petri dish over a flame and also this one. So always take note of the procedure that you have to slide past the petri dish. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so that's it. We'll have to wait for its incubation period, then images will be shown to you later in our session. Okay, so this is the agar slant. So called agar slant because the nutrient agar is in slanting position. So we have the type of agar slant. We are using cotton as our cap or the cover of the mouth of the tube. This agar slant may be used in isolating bacteria. So say for example, the one that we had last time is the stool sample. We do not know if that stool sample has or it contains different bacteria. So we have to use this one first before we swab the cotton directly on the nutrient agar. But in our case, we use it directly because we do not want to isolate bacteria. So once again, the agar slant is for the isolation of specific bacteria.